Welcome everyone, one and all, to week 2 of Gopherwatch League. I will be your caster and producer, Fedora Master, joined along here with Flambo Jambo.
Good afternoon. Good evening. It's gonna be a good game today.
If you don't know, there will be 3 matches going on right now. All of them have their own streams. Page's stream, and if you go into announcements, you'll be able to find that, would be the Quokkas versus the Gamers, and then Booney doing his couchcast for the Bandits and the Ringers. But this would be mainstream, and here we have the Nekos, I believe, the Cats
Yes.
versus the Hawks. Hawks starting their season pretty well with a 3-0 against, I believe, the Cantaloupes, and the Cats, Nekos, having their bye on week 1.
Yeah, we saw a strong first appearance uh by the Hawks here, 3-0ing the Cantaloupes. But I'm pretty excited to see how the Nekos do. I mean, they have a lot of hype around them. They got really solid players, so I think this will be a pretty big match.
Something else to keep in mind is the BM started by the Hawks against these two teams. Both the teams making a diss track for each other. If you
This
guys
is
didn't
true.
catch that,
Which one do you think was a better
I
distract?
didn't listen to either of them, so I don't care.
I will say I did like the Hawk distract. There were some fire bars,
I see, I
as
see.
the kids would say.
As Jim Cage would say. For those people who are watching, for confusion's sake, Nort logic, the northern reasoning, the Norse is playing on Spoon Boy. So
I see. I
this
see.
man just wants to cause confusion.
Definitely, bringing in the spoon. They're here to eat up the competition.
Indeed, indeed. We will also try and keep you live score updates from the other matches. I have asked the other casters to update me as scores come in, but hopefully that actually happens.
This is true. This is true. Uh, I do like the kind of the new system. We kind of know everything that's going on. Unfortunately, there is sometimes where some matches won't get prod, but uh,
This week is
we
special.
have these we have yeah this week is special. So we get the Connor cast, always a pleasure, and we get the every match actually should be casted, I believe. So
At
that'll be
least
big.
today. There should still be a primetime match, which at this time looks like it's going to be the Huns versus Axolotls, and then on Tuesday you will have the Honolulu Hamsters versus the Cantaloupes. There's no official prod in that match as of now. But let's look at these teams right now. As you said, the Nekos look like they have some pretty good contenders. You have Trey, of course, as the captain playing on Bliss. You have the Nort Logic. You have Whalefish, Sickbuckle. You have Cathect, and you have Charbotron. All pretty good. Charbotron coming in as a rookie this season. Pretty proficient as Lucio. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me just check. Console player? Private.
Yes,
Yeah, console
Charbotron
player?
is a console player.
I
That's
couldn't remember
correct.
it correctly. So, yeah, should be interesting to see how that team melds. And on the opposite end, you do have Nuttier, who I believe is another console player, and Fancy for the tank line. Fancy, pretty good. He's he likes that hog character sometimes, but I don't think I've seen him play it too much. And the
I will say, last week he was kind of tearing it up on the Sigma and Zarya, and he was playing some flank Sigma, which is always a treat.
along with Invictus for Hitscan, with HV as their captain, with Raz and Withering. Withering you saw mostly, I believe, on tank last season for I want to. I'm getting the seasons match mixed up.
I
Whichever
believe
team had
Witherin
had HV Sec Puppetry staying shifty on it
they were
again.
they were on the Galactic
So
Waterverse.
that's the team. I thought it was like the Bilbies, the Beebles, the Water Bears. There's too many bees, man. First map will be Oasis for this week,
So
just
what do you
like
want to
last
see
week.
here on University?
Some good, honest brawl. There we
This is
go.
true.
There's a Torb, mandatory Torb cam. We will see
This is
also.
where go ahead.
We also see Invictus. Invictus known for his more so like long range hits again, like his Ash, correct? So we'll see him playing Cass here. So pretty proficient on the Cass. And there goes Sick Buckle on the Cass. So it would be a Reaper versus a Hanzo here. Interesting to see that Whalefish is injured here, being the Hanzo. He's not the one on the Hanzo. Interesting to see how this works out. Both teams have Bat, both teams have Lucio, and here we go. Nekos first map. We see them both. One team going to the point. Both teams going to meet at the point here. Trying to slow in. Trey trying to make some space, going in pretty slowly. She's getting some swings in. Takes a lot of damage because of it. Just have Sick Buckle in the back, just pelting damage. Lamp is used early by Withering. I'm sure still be up by Cathect. Lots of healing be put down. See where we're gonna go. The shield resource being drained really quickly. Both teams. Shield broken by red team. Both lamps have been used at this point. The Rhine falls. Nyaauru falls. Lamp used really early. Cath able to build that really quickly. Looks like gonna be a pretty easy fight. Just clean up here.
Yeah, I think what we definitely saw there during that fight is the thing that's really big on Brawl is you need to have your team in that clump the entire time. Wherever your Reinhardt goes, you typically just want everyone there with him, pumping in that damage. And what you could see from the red team a little bit there is I think it was mostly Nuttier and the tanks and Lucio were together, but I think all the other three were kind of spread out a little bit there. So I think that had a big part for the Nekos kind of taking that first win.
And the Nekos are taking this pretty aggressive here. Heinen's used, so they're kind of forced off. Lamp is also used, so they can't really respond to this. Dragon's gonna be used as well. Shatter used, but he's caught in the Dragons. He can't get up. Dragon defense too, but oh my goodness, Trey says, I'm taking you with me. Don't think it's really gonna be. He had 24 HP, so might as well take someone with him. I don't think there's gonna be that much of a long stagger, but they do get the flip at 43%. So how are they gonna try and use their ults that they built here? Try and maybe do the same thing. That dragon really caught them off there. I'll give it over to you, see. Unless this fight is gonna start early. Looks like it will. Whalefish with this Blossom here. Sick Buckle also with his Noon. Cath with another window. Only tank owns release response. They could look for a bomb shatter here. There's the bomb. The shatter, but it finds the shield. The bomb did get caught. Bomb from Nort finds questionable things. Done out of Reaper Blossom. So go find Invictus. Nort engages onto the backline, trying to get this Bap out of the fight, but he just finds a Hanzo who is a Storm Row and gets demeched.
Yeah, once again there, we saw good proactive ult usage, I think, from both
This fight's getting staggered,
teams.
though.
And Charbeltron just kind of stuck there on that point. Nuttier just eating them with those hammer slings.
Indeed. Also, keep in mind, that was a really staggered fight. I'm going to say the fight ended at like 30%, but now it's up to 50%. So
yeah, that's a big deal for Red Team. They went in lower on the ults, and now they're able to get that dragon back again. That did so much in that earlier fight.
You also do have Beat to respond to any ults used by the opposite team. There's a window used early. Shatter falls, but the eat on the dragon! The Noons respond. Does it find the D-Mech Diva. So Bucko's gonna want to try and use this ult here. This Diva is separated. Can he find the pick? We'll cast fast each other. Oh, but Sick Buckle with the response, the ping diff! Able to recover fast from that flash, but it does look like building up to 80% here. Still holding that Noon. They can beat into engage.
This looks, I don't know. I want to see the blue team come back fast. They have the Lucio ult, and they have the Cassidy ult. I want to see them, the Nekos come out here, go fast, take point.
It's the beat.
And it looks like they'll do that.
Nort's gonna look to get down his DPS, but he's flashed and he's going quite low, but the tank's trade is there. Nort's just able to put a little bit of pressure on these DPS, allowing for the Nekos DPS to do their damage while damage from the Hawks is not there.
So I still feel good if I'm the Hawks though. They're coming back here. They have both tank ults. They'll have both DPS ults. And you just saw Charbeltron and Cath use the support ults. I think they just need to take their time a little bit. They have 40% to work with. Take your time, go in. You just slam down the ults and win the game.
Nature's coming a little. North's gonna try and look to eat this dragon again, but hopefully he can get this off. But the shatter falls onto Nuttier, right through the shield. This is something I was thinking of as well. The Nekos are gonna want to try and use their ults before the other team has their opportunity to use theirs, so they're gonna need to come to this last fight really rushed as they use these ults, and hopefully the Nekos could be more ready to deal with them. Because it's going to be definitely last fight territory. Even though there's an ult advantage, that extra time bought by using that Shatter allows them to build up their DPS ults. A little bit more of their supports I think live later in this fight. There's a Shatter, falls into Charbeltron. Dragon's eaten. It looks like there's a lot of picks. This ult bank really coming into play here.
Diva's definitely showing up, eating ults. This will be a big off-tank game we got.
Indeed, Fancy and Nort both really good off tanks, especially in this league. Nort not even listed as Masters, but he consistently plays to that degree. And then
I mean, I respect them. They're you know, off tanks are a different breed. They got work put in.
Interested to see how many
so it looks
changes coming in here. Yeah.
The Nekos coming in with that kind of ball diving looking comp that I like a lot. I mean, Whalefish is kind of crazy on the Tracer. Meanwhile, the Hawks are going with the monkey dive strat versus ball. How do you feel about that?
I feel like the main thing here is noticing that Chabatron is on the Mercy rather than like a break to peel off this dive. Well, the other team does have the break, so it's going to be a lot harder for the Nekos to try and get a dive in here. But we do already see Nuttier going up to high ground. Trying to secure this for this team. See how this plays out. Able to put in a lot of damage onto Spoonboy. He's forced to get out. Monkey engages into backline. Sakwago's trying to pressure him out. Able to get the monkey to jump out. Trey does fall low, but he's probably out of the fight looking for someone else. Genji's forced deflect. Can get the last shot. Last shot's not in there. Slept onto the monkey. Just see that the fight does look like it's slowly going into the favor of the red team of the Hawks. Interesting.
So you're seeing there, like you said, with the Brig peel, there. I mean, first of all, HV is just being a menace right now on the Genji. He's going in the backline, finding those picks, which is, you know, what you love to see. But I think just the value that they had protecting their Ana, protecting Ritherin there, they're just able to survive the ball dives, and he was just getting repeatedly punished. And I think while you do have, you know, the boosted soldier doing damage, I don't know how good that is against this comp that
it's hard to get someone off the soldier because that's the main thing. He doesn't have the stun to try and deal with him. The nano ball onto the high ground. Got a lot of damage. Forced anti. Forced a lot of abilities. Trying to get back up there. Okay, in the last space, Invictus does fall.
A lot of the follow-up.
Do have Pulse here. See and Visor. See what they can do with this. The main thing is just this bubble lasts for so long. They try and force into it, but they're not really able to. This is slept. Bomb finds 2 from Fancy. Bliss does find their Ana, but I don't think that's really going to help them too much. 52% and counting coming up.
I think right now there's just, you know, Hawks are having us take some notes a little bit, giving us a show on this kind of dive look. You know, even though, you know, Genji not really very traditional in this comp, neither is the Cassidy really, but both just
funny thing,
working out
Nano
really
Blade
well.
should be coming out here. Trey is slept in the backline. He's trying to get out. We're just trying to look for it. Conceding point a little bit. Pulse is used. Stick onto the brig. Can they get the Nano? The Nano does get off, but just as the Tracer falls from Whalefish. But might just be enough. I don't know. Ball does fall low. Can Invictus finish either of them off? No, he cannot. The combined forces of both of them. But Nuttier back on the Winston. Able to pick off Whalefish from the Tracer. That's just not enough. Able to get the... Maybe to get the flip. You gotta get this cast. They do get the flip, but they only have tanks here, really. Now they're starting to get back, but they're stuck on Moira now. Someone to keep in check. Even though the Moira will stay alive because of that new fade change. It's gonna be interesting to see how they try and engage against this.
I don't really like the Moira. I mean, you have a ball and a Tracer, right? I don't
think
know
it was used to try and get back.
To get back point, right?
Get back to point, and he's already stuck on it. Visor should look to be trying used here. It's the monkey engage. Try and get either this DMAC. The bubble is down, so if you can try and get on the backline.
Separating their backline.
Sparker does fall down. Try and get back up. Maybe try and use it after. It's not look like. I want to try and use this Visor. Here it is.
Oh, no one.
He falls to.
Got stuck.
Got stuck in between both DPS. Not feeling confident to pop up the Visor there.
Yeah.
Trying to make some space so he can outrange them. If it just does stun out the ball slam, so there's nothing for that. He's gonna try and look out to stay alive, but he cannot. Whalefish alone to try and stagger here. Pulse is used, is able to catch Withering as Sigbucko does come back, but does not have his visor anymore. Trying to stall it out. High Noon from Invictus.
Nekos used all their ults there too. Try to hold that point, but I think it's just kind of stuck here for the first map when going to the Hawks.
Still got a stagger, but back on the Doomfist. I don't know what it's gonna mean with a rally, especially. We're gonna get a few abilities off, but that break rally is just gonna negate everything that's gonna go on here. They even retouch again. They do, but and they got the rally, the Braid Boss, and the Nano. It looks like it's gonna be map 1 for the Hawks.
So I definitely think Hawks were more comfortable on that kind of dive look, right? I feel like on the brawl, yeah, they won that first map, but I feel like it was a lot closer. I feel like the Nekos were a lot more comfortable playing that brawl style. I say as we see HV's ridiculous dragon, but I don't know. I think the Winston was better than the ball there. The Brig to provide that backup, and I mean, all credit, not all, but a lot of credit to HV there. I mean, he was catching out that Soldier and Mercy almost every single game, or every single team fight, and was getting those picks early and efficiently. So I hope what I want to see from the Nekos here is I want to see more protection for that backline, because while they are ridiculously good, and it felt like they were kind of being left out to dry a few times in those team fights.
Indeed. Something else to keep in mind here is we do have a score update from the Bandits and Ringers game. Ringers took first map, so now it's 1-0 in favor of the Ringers over the Bandits. No update from the Quokkas or the Gamers. But interesting to see comp already out. Interesting to see, do they just go to the classic King's Row? Because Cathect is known for that Reinhardt character.
That's true. I think they are probably going to the KR here. I mean, this was Emero, also very good on the Ana. So not really the Baptiste KR that you might expect, but especially they put Whalefish on the on the Hanzo here, just kind of eats up the down main, but I don't know. I think it's kind of dangerous to send them to KR, because again, while they did look better in that brawl look, they did lose in that brawl look. So
it's a lot closer in the brawl, though.
Yes.
And here we go. Doesn't look like I didn't see any swaps from the other side, so it looks like it's still the same lineup from the Hawks.
They're coming out with the same.
Just a few changes. But we do get to see the Trey and Whalefish DPS line, which should be very interesting coming in here.
I'm expecting a Doomfist and a Hanzo.
I am expecting a Mei, or even Genji. Trey likes Genji on wait, which side is he? Oh. No, wait. Oh, no, that's defense, right? Yeah, he's not going to play it on defense. There's the Mei.
There's the Mei, yeah.
Yep. Whalefish on a
definitely see
hero.
the Genji on attack, too. Again, they're running that Ana. Emero likes the Ana, Charbotron, they like the Lucio, right? I mean, you just throw in the Genji, right? You have another win condition on top of your, just rush. So.
Indeed, and this is another map where, at least in attack, you can't really see the signature Invictus Ash. So maybe that's something else. Definitely something to worry about on first point defense, at least. Depends how they set it up. Especially with the Sigma on the high ground. Over in this direction where the camera currently is. This is a good spot for Ash and Sigma set up. Especially if your pocket. Really good damage source. Just to see how they start this. The tempo really needs to be set here by both teams. That's the main thing I want to be looking for.
Fast movement.
Both run statue. Trying to... Kath already falling to half because of that Hanzo. Kath does not really want to push this, but the wall is out, just not catching one. Able to all the flashbang forces out. Freeze. Both teams trying to push up pretty aggressively. A lot of swinging coming in. Both Ryan, none of you are getting the better end, building up a lot more of that charge from these fire strikes. Whalefish falls really low, but Trey is able to build up this blizzard pretty quickly here. But Charbotron does fall. The wall is off on the Reinhardt, but no freeze, and the lamp is also used. Trey does fall. Kath is looking kind of
seeing
scared
Nuttier
here.
wanting to take control. He's taking that space. Definitely wants to set the tempo.
Oh, but the nano is shattered. Looks like it's gonna be a pretty good first point take.
That was definitely very efficient. You could see, again, big credit to Nuttier on the Rhine. He was paying attention where his Lucio was, where Witherin was. Knew when they had Lamp, when they didn't. And definitely setting that pace. I mean, both Reinhardts really just...
Both Reinhardts was trying to set the pace, but I feel like the confidence you get as Reinhardt when you have the Lamp ability is really, really something that gets into their heads. But you do have... Oh my, Whalefish almost gets doinked by HV's Hanzo. You have both DPS ults from the Nekos. You have both DPS ults and a tank ult and a support ult from the Hawks. Oh, and the Hanzo log right through the DM and right through the shield. Able to get them. The wall is used, so they don't really want to push this. But as soon as the wall goes down, there's the dragons trying to split them off. They should be able to run a Cath here. Blizzard is used to try and split them off. But the pin!
Oh, what a pin.
It takes out both Reinhardts, but I don't know who that really benefits. As long as Nort can stay alive here. But he does fall. He uses Bomb to try and get the remix so they can try and get back in here. But Invictus is on the flank here as well. Does fall to Whalefish. No, he picks off Whalefish.
Marked by the dragon.
Just pelting damage from the cart. They consistently get a lot of damage here. The ults were used, but there's still a lot of ults able to be used. And there's the shatter from Cath.
Shatters.
Lamp is
Both
used
shatters
as well.
find nothing, but it's...
Good sleep. Nano is also used, but they gotta make sure no one's on the cart. If HV... Okay, never mind. They're back to the cart. Cart was open there for a split second. You might have been able to C9 it if they weren't careful. But it does look like there is a good regroup here. And it's now back in the playing field.
Really good positioning by the Nekos there. They knew they were down. You know, they're pretty much fighting a 3v6 most of that fight. So they're just taking their opportunities when they could get them. Not really eking. They let that cart get all that progress, which is, you know, good for them because now they got their team back. They're able to go in, use ults, and win the fight. Still pretty even on ults here too.
Windows used, but it's walled off by Trey. Nort does fall low. Gonna need to be using a lot of demon. The snipe from Nuttier onto the Ana. That's gonna be really hurtful, but the beat is used. It's ever so slightly late, getting booped up by the Reinhardt. Not able to get that on the pinned on the pin. Looks like this is gonna be in favor of the Hawks to start on third point attack here. 4 minutes left.
I'm looking. The Hawks still have beat. They still have dragons. Both tank ults. You have to be, you know, if you're the Nekos, I'm shivering in my boots a little bit here. You have both tank ults coming up. You have Blizzard. I need to see an aggressive Blizzard, and well, here we go.
There's a Blizzard. Nuttier tries to use Shatter to try and force him out of it, but not quite there. Remech and Bomb used as well. So that's both tank ults used just for Blizzard and a fight win from the Nekos. Raz also falling late.
And Lucio beat also got pulled.
Oh yeah, that is something that I did not see.
Yeah,
that's 3 ults for one.
Yeah, that's what you really like to see as Nekos here. I think they just full turned this this tempo. They have on ult. They have dragons.
Boostio! Dragons also used as a response. I feel like that was meant to be onto the Reinhardt, but just missed. Caught the Lucio. Bomb is also committed. That's a lot of ults used. You had a lot of ults used by the Hawks last fight, but now you're getting a lot of them used by the Nekos this fight. Now it's no team ult.
Yeah, that's. I wonder if there must have been a lapse in communication there.
Only one with ult here.
I mean, they used 5 ults in a fight I feel like they had already won.
Yeah, you do have Invictus with his Noon coming up here. Hopefully able to just zone them off cart. Keep in mind there is Nort in this high ground. Maybe trying to get behind them, trying to eat this Noon if used. But he's scouted out. He has to get out here. There's the Noon. Walled off. He just speeds around it. Does eat some of it, but Whalefish does fall. Blizzard is online pretty soon.
I think in this mid game too, you know both teams have no ults, right? I think this is definitely where we see that kind of Baptiste shine a little bit. They're able to play that more aggressive. You feel a lot better knowing you have Lamp. They're just able to push in, get these picks, zero fear.
Indeed, and it looks like Fancy's gonna try and catch off Whalefish in their spawn. Does fall kind of low, both do, but he's able to get that with the Baptiste healing. Blizzard is used, not able to eat it from Fancy as he was trying to deal with the Hanzo. But the freeze only gets around. They're not really able to get anyone with it except for Invictus. Bomb is also used. Gotta be careful not to be hit by that, but it looks like they're gonna be able to push it in after that. With 1 minute 40 seconds. Pretty good drain of the time. Pretty good drain of the time bank, but still would have liked to hold them before they capped.
I mean, realistically though, that was definitely a good hold by the Nekos. I mean, they finished that first point so efficiently, right? Again, I definitely think that's just solid play by the Hawks, acknowledging, look, they just used 5 ults that last fight. We just go in, we swing, we be aggressive, and I think that definitely helped pay off to catch that 3rd point capture.
The thing I want to see here is if Invictus stays on this cast, or they play more of a pokey style with Invictus on Ashe, just trying to remain uncontested on these high grounds. With possibly Fancy moving on to the Sigma, and it looks like we do stay on the cast. Not really anything swapping up from the Hawks. Trey onto this Widow, trying to get maybe an early pick. No other swaps other than that. Except for Travertron also does swap onto this Mercy. Does that mean...
It's an interesting look. I'm a little concerned about that.
This tells...
I mean, yeah, you have 2 good DPS, but I don't know. I feel like the Lucio is just too good with the Reinhardt.
This tells me that Trey probably swaps off to Echo or Pharah.
Oh, true.
To try and put in an alternate angles for these try and maybe hope these fights last longer. He does swap there to Pharah. There you go. But this is against Invictus, who's pretty good on that point and click adventure character known as the Cassidy. So with HV, able to swap off to another hit scan if they feel a lot of pressure from this. But you see all the respect they give this Pharah, giving up all this space just because Pharah's in the sky. They can't risk taking a ton of poke, but Trey does fall low to Invictus. As I said before, he's putting a lot of damage.
That's how it comes out. And forces the lamp.
But might want to get this nade back. Good forcing the lamp, but look how split they are now. Does find the Reinhardt. Does force Steve out of position. D.Va can't really help their team, and that's a lot of spam damage still coming in from that Pharah. Hell fight. Look at it go. Big chillin'. Can they get anyone in there? They're not able to do that. And Kath is forced out because of the shield breaking and all that damage still going in. High Noon does find the Ana as well. Whalefish with the response. Able to take down Invictus. That means Trey should be a lot more free onto this Pharah. But there's still a D.Va to deal with. And with a Hanzo if he ever tries to use his ult. Kath is back though as he tries to pressure in. What happened to my screen? There, it's back.
I think it's tough about not running the Lucio. You know, the Nekos, yeah, they're getting the picks, but they're not able to stay grouped, get those values, get the value off those picks. I say as they get the point, right?
But I mean, it's Nano Barrage plus DM on the Barrage. You can't do much about that. Nuttier is kind of stuck here though. You kind of want him to either get out or die, and I don't think he can really get out. Maybe his team does get good spawns. Maybe they can do a quick reset here. Trey does not have his Mercy Pocket. You gotta be careful here, and he does fall because of it.
I mean, again, we can just take a quick peek at the ult differences here still. I think that was, again, just that proactive versus reactive ulting. They came out with the Nano Pharah. Almost have Nano back already, by the way, but...
Lamp is used, but the Shatter in response, able to take down, I think, 3 with the Dragon into the Arch. Can't really get out from here. Bomb is used, trying to get the D.Va out, but it does seem to work. Trey back in, but he does get instantly deleted. No,
Fancy's doing a fantastic job of keeping that Pharah marked. Wherever you're seeing Bliss, and yeah, so Bliss, Trey I think has to switch because of it. I mean, wherever you saw him in the sky, Fancy was right next to him, DMing that, doing that poke damage.
They're gonna try and there's a big Shatter. Trey's on this Doomfist, so they're gonna want to try and use Valkyrie, I think, pretty soon, unless they just swap without using it. Trying the Doomfist, not able to really secure that kill. Yeah, you're definitely going to want to use Valk for this next push and try and swap back onto that Lucio. Trey's just going to try and make space on his own. Kath also swapping onto the Sigma now. Maybe they don't swap then.
How to make the payload move once
I
again.
think the Nekos are just having a hard time figuring out what to do.
Wait, they're
in
still
this
hunting
comp.
for Trey. And that gives him the perfect opportunity because he wasn't where they thought they was.
That's a huge pick. I want to see the Nekos all just
Which is in the
Run
back
it
line
there.
though. Windows use. I don't think that Window's gonna really do much here. I feel like this fight still ends in the favor of the Nekos, even though how scrappy it is. But then still, they're still able to find picks here.
oh my goodness.
Slowly but surely, though, it is in the favor. Okay.
No!
Fancy is still in this fight with Invictus also coming back. I don't know if they really get a good test here.
Winnable for the contestable anyway.
There is a dragon inbound. Dragon is going to be committed. Bomb is also committed from opposite end.
The Diva has to touch.
They get the they get the cap because the bomb zoned them off. Really well done. Another bomb in response. I don't think that's gonna be blocked. Oh, barely gets the block. Trey's still in on this Doomfist. Uses ult, try and get out. Does he try and go back in with it? He does onto the back line. Does cancel the high noon. Man, Doomfist is a character. Look at him go.
Craig is gaming right now. He's Lock the Doom can't do more.
Does appear that way.
Alright, I think we need to see.
Nord does get
I
Team X
don't know.
trying to get Trey out though.
Just what I need.
Does reset because of it. Still have this Mercy going in. But without the Reinhardt, I don't know. I think it's probably fine staying on it.
We'll fish the pocket, right? I mean, you still feel okay about that.
Oh, the shatter. The bubble does stop the shatter from Trey, so he's able to stay in this fight, but he does fall pretty low. Waiting for his cooldowns to come back. Able to get back on the Lucio. Does he get the kill? He does get the kill, but he gets traded for it. But just does fall to Kath. But the tanks are pushing the cart while the tanks from the Nekos are just trying to secure these off angles. You have Fancy pushing in pretty aggressively on these angles. Res onto Whalefish. And that Dragon's going to split the rest of their team. Almost uses again. Just back in. Goes right through him onto the back line. Is bonked away. Trey just gonna reset with his ult there.
It's a big pick on that Mercy. And now it's just awkward, right? Do you stay Mercy with you when you have Valk to use it, right? Or do you
No,
go
they
for the,
swap.
and they do decide to swap?
Trey also swapping onto the point-and-click adventure character known as Coleslaw Casserole. Maybe try and get this extra stun, but they don't have the Reinhardt to go with it at this point in time. Poaching 1 minute 50 seconds. Dragon's gonna know what to be used here. There's nothing to deny it. That should really split off their team. There's a D-Mech and Lamp is also used. Grab to respawn. Looks like there's gonna fall inside of it. The cleanup should
With
be
that,
coming
that
here.
does officially mean that the Hawks will at least have a higher time bank.
The Hawks have won the scrim.
The Hawks have won the scrim. And I don't know. What do you think about that Mercy swap, right? You had Valk.
I mean,
and
now
you
that they're
were-
back on Reinhardt, then
Sigma.
you...
Now that they're back on Reinhardt, it makes sense,
I
right?
think the call was a little bit late because Kath is already probably too far, but Kath is going to look to try and go in aggressively here. Does get the nano, able to swing in aggressively, does cancel the shatter because of it. Able to keep pushing, hopefully they get this break. They do catch the break. Nothing to keep in mind. Look at him keep going, he's going to fall though. And the dragon catches also Whalefish, and Invictus is in the abyss.
Oh
But there's
my
not many
gosh.
people here, and that's
HB is just saying, guys, get in my backpack.
I mean, Fancy as well, able to just stay alive through all that. Something to keep in mind is that with Raz swapping into break, they don't have the Lucio speed to match that of now that Charbotron is on the Lucio, because they swapped the break because of the Doomfist. Trey now playing Mystery Heroes back onto a different hero known as the Tracer. Trying to get back faster, trying to get some more space with him. Whalefish
It's gonna
trying
be
to...
a tough push. I think it's definitely up to Kath here to hit this big shatter, open the space for their team, and hopefully send
He's
this
in the
into
back
a-
line, able to
Oh,
break the
there it
bubble and
is!
get the shatter off for some reason. That's a feature. Gets repinned and is going to the back line. Does get back, but he's Reinhardt not in the fight. Deva's only one point. Tree does fall, and no one's gonna have to chase off this cast.
Time to raise my APM.
Almost falls. But the respawns are going to be in the favor of the Hawks.
Science will reveal the truth.
That's the Grav Dragon.
That's the second map going for the Hawks.
Definitely good looks, right? I mean, both teams showing very comfortable. Man, this is, even though it is 2-0, I could really see this going either way here. I think there's just a lot of, I mean, of course, solid play. I mean, I don't know if we would ever expect anything else, but I mean, as you can see here, HV just belting in those headshots, those dragons, and I don't know. That's just a good game.
Indeed. Another score update from another stream. The Gamers are up over the Quokkas 1-0.
Interesting.
So we get another map pick coming in from the Nekos. Maybe see if they have any swaps. Maybe some swaps on the Hawks. Just to see what happens here.
So, what I'm seeing, you don't want to send them to a Junkertown. You don't want to send them to, what's another just.
You don't want to
sniper
send. You
map.
don't want to send them to Route 66, as that is a map Invictus are very good on.
I want to see a Rialto, or,
The main thing to
maybe-
concern here is you've lost the brawl, right?
yeah.
The brawl is closer than the dive, but do you want to give your dive a second chance, or do you want to do the double shield?
I think what I want to see from the Nekos, I want to see them give the dive a second chance, but I want to see a brig, right? I want to see a monkey, or if not monkey, you need to have the brig there to protect your Ana. I think, I mean, Nuttier really showed he's comfortable on the monkey, he's comfortable on the Reinhardt, and I mean, you just can't send Invictus to one of those Ash pocketable maps, right?
And there goes
They
the
have
Gibby.
Lace. Oh, and they're going Gibby. So, looks like they want the dive. But, again, Invictus Ash here is going to be scary. So, we'll see how they deal with that.
Another score update. Ringers are now up 2-0 over the Bandits. And we do see some swaps coming in. Lace moving in. And which support they're going to put back in?
They have Naga in ringing, I believe, for the Mercy.
Huh?
They have they said that Naga Ina was going to be ringing this game, I believe. I don't know if that was changed. But I think they just said in chat they're waiting for Naga, which is interesting since they do have Raz and Witherin.
Who are they missing?
I don't think they're missing anyone.
Huh? They're missing War.
Oh, that's right. They're missing War.
Yeah, they have to get a. Yeah. Unless they do
Yeah,
off-rolling shenanigans, they have to do something like this.
Yeah. Because they want to make sure Lace has playtime, and their SR would be too high, or they'd have to do off-rolling funnies. So we do know that Naga is coming in on that Mercy on Invictus. I haven't seen much of Lace's flex support, so this will be good. But I mean, they are masters, right? So I mean, I know they're in the pugs. The Invictus Lace Mercy Ash was terrifying and just kind of melted us. But we'll see.
Imagine
I'm excited.
playing Ash, Pocket, and Pugs. Wow. Tisk. In this economy. Well, gotta be
In
interesting.
this economy.
I think they go Hog Sigma for the Hawks.
Who, the Nekos?
For the Hawks, at least on defense. Probably not on attack, but definitely for defense. That might be what they're leaning towards.
I mean, you could always just do the Proud and True double shield Pocket Ash.
No, I don't think Eraser does a lot here. especially because I don't know. Nuttier, I
They're going
think.
counter dive. And lace on the Mercy instead of Naga. So
Yeah, I feel like you don't really do. If I remember correctly, Nuttier is more of the Sig player when they played for the Unicorns. Because it was PJ who
see.
played Orisa. Unless
I
Nuttier
see.
does play Orisa, I could see I could see that, or I could see Fancy playing his Hog character.
I mean, again, we know Fancy proficient on the Sigma, right? Also, I mean, proficient on most off tanks. And Nuttier again showed that he was comfortable on that monkey, so we'll definitely see what happens here.
HV also
They
opting
do
to
have a
s-
Mercy
Genji.
again. Charb coming out on the Mercy, so
It's classic scuffle on the bridge starting out here. We do see Virtus on HV on this Genji. Trying to.
force out the bio early from Naga.
And she's peeling, forces Trey onto Logan. He's able to jump out though. Whalefish trying to engage on the backline, but it does fall to Invictus with a quick 1 and 2. Nuttier does fall in response though. Able to just set up, and Invictus is trying to get set up on these long angles, which is where he wants to be. Not really able to be pressured out by the opposing DPS.
I mean, he got that pick on Whalefish, right? And he can't really be pressured by Sick Buckle. Since Sick Buckle's trying to be that peel for their Ana.
Monkeys, Nano, able to catch off Ana. Trying to push in, he finds 3. Almost gets squashed again. That wouldn't have been very good. They do get the DMAC. Do they do the class? Nope, they don't stagger. How respectable.
Still a big stagger though, right? I mean, yeah, he didn't. Trey didn't get that pick, after you got the other 2 or 3. But I mean, that's more ult charge to you, right? You let him remech, you get more of that ult charge, and you're able to just go in the next fight.
Just already set up on this
So that's some
bridge.
good ult rotation being shown by the Nekos.
Trey's primarily in their backline, trying to push these people off. Does catch Lace. And now it's now engaging on Naga. Does he get the squish? Does not seem like he does, and falls. Trying to go a little bit too far. This also falls really low. HV is pretty close here. Whalefish does also fall low. They do have Nano Blade available right here. So Naga doesn't fall, but Naga does seem to fall. Purple
That's
onto-
tough. You definitely wanted to see that Nano Blade there, especially when they're down their monkey, right? Not much peel available during that time.
Watching your back.
Just see Trey just being a menace in the front line, just constantly just jumping in, able to get healed up by Kath and jumping out, but there's just so many ults here. Sharbitron does fall. Nord is still in there trying to get out. Does he get the DMAC on the purple Fancy, but he goes in and gets jumped on response, but then you have, there's the Blade, but I don't think it's Nano, it only has the Mercy with it. Or it does eventually fall. Primal's used by Nuttier. Going further in the back line. If it falls low.
On Sick Buckle and Trey here, so the Hawks should be able to just take this space. What I want to see from the Hawks, although they did win that fight, they need to be way more proactive with their ults here. I mean, they've been going into these. Nekos have been showing really good ult proficiency, ult rotation. When Trey has Primal, Kath doesn't have Nano, and vice versa, right? So.
And it's used, but it is eaten by Fancy. Not able to catch off Invictus, which it probably should have. Fancy was there on the response, but the trades are going back and forth, back and forth. Trey is able to catch. Does he get the dash as well? Does not look like it. He has to go back to point anchor there. As his teammates fall low. Both tanks are low. Is he able to secure any of these final blows? Bomb is used to try and get a new mech. Squish misses. He has to jump out, try and get his heal from this Ana. Or his Mercy and his Ana. We're trying to re-engage here. Primal Blade. They do get the cap off of it. Does fall asleep. Does he get kicked out? To stay alive. And these staggers should come in here. as HV does chase.
Nord's in some trouble here, I think. Kind of stuck out.
Does get
They
the
don't have their
D-Mac.
supports there to help him.
Does get
Gets
out.
away.
Able to get the DMAC. I don't think that
And
really
no
helps.
one's pushing the cart.
There we go.
There we go. Naga's got it.
We do see that there's not many ults online from either team. Blade is being used. The nano used by the Nekos onto the Winston. HV does fall. No nano for the Blade once again. Trey uses his ult, trying to stay alive here.
I think that was just a Blade went in. I think that was realistically, I think that was a good call. It's just kind of unfortunate that Trey was made really good decision making. Said, okay, you're gonna, you know, it's not the traditional counter dive of you see the monkey go in, you counter dive, but you saw the Blade go in, so you counter dive. And, I mean, it had a lot of value.
Rez is trying to get off. The bomb is used. They gotta be careful of the squish around this corner. And there it is.
Oh no! Oh, Whalefish does find Naga with that pulse though.
He trades the massive purple on both tanks, but they both fall before they can get them up, finish them off. Does look like this is gonna be a cap, and those DPS over there look like they kind of want to start running, unless they call for the contest here. Whalefish, they were to contest for a little bit, and the tanks do come back, so it does look like they want to commit to this.
It's contestable.
They do have Visor, but he did drop off high ground. Pressure these. There it is. There's the Visor. Able to catch up Invictus, who is on high ground as he gets booped around. Almost catches up, but the res is up on Invictus once more. Bomb uses, Trey finds two. He falls very low. He's got to get that reload. Bob also used, but they stops the monkey jump, so he's able to fall here. Pulse finds Naga. And Sickback was able to find
They're able to pull this guy. Oh, but it's not over yet!
Blade and Nano are both used. Bomb also used. Almost recalls into the squish.
Man. Oh, it looks like Sickbuckle might be having some latency issues. They're kind of stuck in a corner there, I think, for that ending of the fight. That's tough.
Trey's gotta look to either get out here or take a interesting engage angle, and there it is. Pause is called.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I think Nekos definitely could have contested there. I think Sickbuckle having that DC is just really tough. That's kind of your main source of damage, and the only way they could really efficiently deal with Invictus, since you want your tanks on that cart to contest, right? So that's just unlucky. But we get to see more gameplay, so that's always a win.
I mean, that's not really a win for the Nekos or any Nekos fans
not a
out
win
there.
for the Nekos. Not a win for the Neko fans.
Not at all. But we do see coming in here, no ults for either side except for that classic Trey Primal. But you do see, before we pause, he was kind of a bit stuck on that place where he does not really want to be.
Yeah, but like you said, no ults coming up for the Hawks. They had to use everything there to get that point, which they did get it, right? Is definitely looking very contestable. But only monkey, only primal ult.
He's been scouted, and he gets it going here early without his team, but he has Primal to stay alive here. If he gets slept, he's able to get the juggle off. Doesn't look like he has forced to get out, but Whalefish does find follow-up with the Naga, and he keeps going in, does fall, but both supports are down, so they should be able to go in here if they so see. Swap from Diva onto the Zarya here from Nort.
HV has a plan. I don't know what he's doing. He's creeping and crouching.
He's sneaking around right now. You just can't
Does
see
get
him.
spotted by Whalefish though. So.
This Invictus Ash almost up to another Bob. He just wants to try and get this high gun. Does use Coach Gun. Monkey engaged. Does get the bubble. Whalefish does find Naga.
And those pulse bombs have just been nasty by Whalefish. He's found Naga with almost every single one.
And they forget something. They forgot, everyone. They forgot. Can we get a classic C9 lol in chat?
It's C9 lol in chat indeed, my friend. But I mean, after the great look by the Nekos on first point defense, I don't think you can be sad at all if you were the Hawks. That is a very, very solid cart progression. And you know, I think it's gonna be a little tough for the Nekos to now come out here, because again, now the Ash isn't on attack.
Yes.
They have free access to that high ground, and I don't know.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to try and push out this Ash.
And there's the hog you wanted to see.
Yeah, I told you, the Sigma Hog. HV also on this defensive Torb, able to just pelt in extra damage, especially if they dive in.
Incoming.
They're really hard to
So-
play against.
We are talking about a lot about Invictus, but again, Fancy is out here with the most damage in the game after playing Diva.
He's kind of just big chillin'. He would just
just
pelt
kinda
in the
big
damage onto
chillin'.
the monkey. To everything
This is
else.
true. This is true.
Shotguns hurt, man.
They do come out in the Torb. Can you give us some
4.
neat Torb trivia while we wait for the game to start?
He is
here?
4'7", which is shorter than me somehow.
Stop the payload.
That's about my height.
An alpha. But the turret position is in a really easily poked out spot, as you can see. And we do see the
Yeah.
jump in, but the hook
Oh, and the hook.
falls off really
Good,
quickly.
good bubble though.
Whalefish trying to make some space onto Zygon, does fall off though, and they're just gonna push down the cart as much as they can.
And
Right.
they're already pretty much out of that danger zone, right? They're, you know, of course they're in the contestable spot, but now
That's a lot
the
of
Hawks
CC.
can't really sit on that high ground.
That's a lot of CC. We don't even have the Ash, man. You have Brig Stun, you have Flash, you have Hook, you have Rock. Bro,
This
You have sleep.
This is a feels bad for Whalefish and Trey right now.
he's gonna try and look to get out those, or have Bubble consume those. It's gonna be really hard to do that consistently. Because once again, you can just break Bubble. If those of you don't know, it only has 200 HP.
This is. It's. So, how
Big
do we want to
nade.
see that is a massive.
Trey can't do more.
Massive
Swaps the
nade.
Hog.
Yeah, I think the hog pick is definitely probably a way to go, right? You have all these CC chains
Cyclical
lining you
finds
up.
two.
You can't really do the dive.
Turret falls, but he also falls quite low. He does have Visor here, so they do have Nano Visor if they wish to use it. The Nano onto the Hog, the whole Hog Nano. They Nano their own. Wait,
Yeah, Trey also got Nano on the back line. Found both supports pretty quick and had that big bubble to avoid the stuns.
I would
does
think
die.
I would think you'd want to use that on the Visor if you get him back up high ground.
I mean, Nano Visor's good. But
They
Nano Hog, that's funny.
they don't have Diva. If you got this man up on high ground, you can just pelt it in, or even if you make him go server, he gets so many angles. But now you just have the sad Visor. Fancy stop playing
Warming
Overwatch
up
in my
that
hand.
Nano
What?
though, they're letting the Torb turret do a little bit of poking.
Good choice.
Indeed.
Oh, close pulse bomb.
We're trying to push out the Sigma into server room. He's kind of alone there, and Trey does fall to Invictus, and here's that Visor. Just able to get the turret and the Ana. Core is used in server room. Nor is able to find one, but he's fell by the Throbbjorn. Trying to chase the Hog
Path
here.
is going after that Hog.
Does he find him? No, he dies.
Oh,
Kath gets him though, but he's gonna die after the fact. The pretty late stagger.
I think the Nekos need to regroup here, talk it out, figure out what's going on. Cause they're kind of playing a little bit all over the place here, and it's definitely tough when you have a turret and walking into 4 ults
Yeah,
with nothing and 40 seconds on the clock.
Just gotta watch out for this hook. Whoever gets hooked is guaranteed to die because of this whole hog to respond as well. Card's being slightly pushed, but Fancy's just waiting. He gets hooked first, but he does have his ult to respond and get this off. With the
It's just that early pickup. Both supports are dead. They need to go now.
Sleep on the hog, but he's gonna be saved by the Flux. Still has the hog.
Fancy's just in the back line killing everybody.
He was slept and saved by the whole hog. Is this man or saved by the Flux? What words are hard? There's the whole hog.
And that's hard to see.
That's gonna be it. That's gonna be a pretty good 3-0 for the Hawks.
That's 2 3-0s now for the Hawks for those not keeping track at home. That's definitely showing to be a pretty scary team. I mean, Nekos, full credit to them. At least the first 2 maps and their defense on Gibraltar definitely looked really solid, right? I think it's just a little bit tough here. I think there was and HV says diss track diff in the chat. You hate to see it. See you in finals.
Yeah, it does seem like a pretty good start for the season for the Hawks. Kind of bumming from the Nekos coming from a bye into a 3-0 loss, but now we get to pick the MVP of the match.
Right.
I've got to find a voice chat that's not used. Since you are the color caster, I will let you pick.
Yes.
Who do you think deserves it?
So here's the deal. I think my vote is Fancy. The reason I say Fancy is we saw in Kings Row he was kind of shut down that far right away, right? We came out expecting that to possibly be a problem. Of course, they have Invictus on the hit scan, which you don't need to really worry about it too much. But he had such good peel on that Pharah, and then coming into Gibraltar here. They felt his presence, out damaging everyone on attack, and then on defense, his hog was, just kind of nasty. So, I definitely have to vote Fancy. Off takes are freaks of nature. All right, which one do we move into? Congratulations
Thank you.
on your win today.
Thank you. Just another one for the book. True. Yeah. Yeah, just kind of vibed. That's kind of the point. Well, the thing with that is, Chris, said that he didn't think he was getting enough value to like warrant the Mercy pick. So we're just like, okay, well, in that case, let's just like never die, and then we did that. Mhm.
I mean, not necessarily questions, but just more compliments, right? Because we like to feed egos here at Gopherwatch
Thank you.
League. Of course, we're talking about your hog. Definitely, very solid there on Gibraltar. Your diva was absolutely insane today. All right,
Mhm.
Swallow Dragon first map. Always a big play, right?
Yeah.
I think you had that 3K bomb, unless that was Nort, but I think that was yours.
No, I think that was me on City Center, whichever one it was.
Yeah, and then I personally was very impressed with the Pharah tracking on Kings Row.
Oh, thank you.
Whenever they try to come, whenever I think Trey was on Pharah, right? Whenever he was trying to get that position and get those plays, you just saw a diva in his face, not letting him do that. So I don't know. I think you both did a really good job today of both peeling and doing damage, doing work, and I think HV definitely is very happy with his pickup of you.
Indeed, indeed. I have been informed that I was muted on stream. I am sad, but I'm back
The whole
on
time?
stream. No, not
Wait,
the
for
whole
the
time, just
entire-
recently.
Okay.
Just
okay.
recently. On Fortnite. But anyways, let's let me ask, out of the teams that you know of that you're gonna play, which match do you think you look forward to the most? If any.
Well, I don't really know many teams, but I will say I'm kind of looking forward to playing just like ex-teammates because I think that's the most fun. So
Yeah.
like people that were on the Bilbies 2 seasons ago, and I feel so bad because I'm blanking on my last team name. Them last season.
Now that you said it, now I can't
It was,
think of it.
it
The
was
Highland
Elliot's team.
Highland
It
Homies,
was,
Highland
yeah.
Homies, because
Yeah.
the logo's so similar. Them like, what's the name now?
Yeah, the Hydro Homies. Yeah, them.
Yeah.
So.
I think the last question I have for you is, if you couldn't be MVP for this match on your team, who would you give it to?
HV 100%. You see the man's on there? I was honestly shocked y'all picked me over him.
Behind every great Hanzo is a great Zarya, right? Setting up those grabs.
Supposedly.
Maybe
Supposedly.
sometimes. That depends on the
Maybe
day.
sometimes.
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day and the economy. Well, I think that's all we have for you.
Alright.
There should still be 2 matches going on for those who are watching on Paige's stream and on Booney's stream. Check announcements in the Gopherwatch League server to find that. But for your casters, Fedora and Flambeau, this has been the Gopherwatch League Week 2, and catch you guys in the next one.